Hello YouTube, this video is on the VMC EXG42L. This is the light version. I did a video earlier last year or year before last, and I did the regular, not the light, and we walked you through it, and I promised I would try to do one on the light version, which I now have. And it's been sitting here, but it's been a little bit too cold. It's still too wet, so I'm gonna do what I can on here. We'll test reaching out, because I have had some people send me some messages and ask me if this one does a better job of reaching out and if the machine's more stable, because this one's about 200 pounds lighter. So we're gonna try to do a little bit of that today, and we'll try to find some stuff to cut. I can't really get off the driveway or anything because it's wet. It's been raining a lot here. As you can see, this is the EXG42L. We've got all the lines hooked up. Again, if you have a problem with the lines, and when you first try to use the cutter, this tells you the blade rotation. So when you're watching in the cab, you'll want to see the blades coming this way. You can see the edge on them, which is sharp. The sharper edge is angled. That's what you want to see. If for chance it's cutting the wrong way, then what you want to do is you want to take this bolt out right here, and you will flip this. I think it's 90 or 100. You just flip it completely opposite, but I think this is right, but we'll know, and we'll let you see when we get in the machine. And again, you can see which way it's cutting. If it's throwing anything back towards the machine, it's going the wrong way. If it's throwing it out this way, you're good to go. So we're gonna get in the machine, and we'll come back in a minute, and we'll do some demos. All right, so we got off here. We went and checked our notes in a previous video we did. In the last video, when this was turning backwards, this piece right here was pointing out this way, and this looks right. So we're going to assume that possibly that they've got the fittings on the machine backwards. So I didn't know that there was a way to put them on there backwards, but I had the same issue with my 57. And also I noticed that it's not really spinning that well fast when I turned it on. So what we're going to do is we unhook the hoses. We got them down so they can drain, and hopefully we won't lose much fluid. And what we're going to do is we're going to change these hoses around here. That'd be the easiest way instead of changing those fittings. So we'll get through with that, and once we do that, then we will start it up again and see if that fixes it. And if not, we will go ahead and flip this around. Oops, and we're already losing hydraulic fluid, which we didn't want to do. So we're going to stop the video here. You can do this yourself. It's pretty simple, and we'll be back shortly. All right, we've changed the hoses out. Now we're going to hit the yes. Now it's running much better. You can see it's much faster, and it's turning the right way. All right, since this can be frustrating when you get a new piece of equipment, or if you get it and you're out in the field and you expect it just to work, I'm going to go ahead and detail this. So what we did on these pumps for a Kubota, the last three cutters I've had, this little piece right here on this pump right here that's held on by these two bolts, this piece goes that way. If it's going this way, it's backwards. And then also what we probably need to do is, it does matter, because you need to run this in hammer mode in the machine, and the hammer mode has the fluid going one way. I think that's how it works. And so we need to make sure this top right here is going to be, I'm gonna follow this up here the best I can. It's going to be on the right hand side of the machine, and then this one looks like it will run onto the other side of the machine. So what's going to matter is, depending on if you got the machine, which side they put the male and the female hydraulic couplers on. And it's just easier in this case to we switched them out right here. We just unhooked this one, unhooked that one. We held it up in the air because if you've ran it and tried, you're going to have hydraulic fluid in there, and it's expensive, so you don't want to lose it. The other thing I noticed, when you go to turn it on, if it's not right, it's not going to turn fast. So the hoses were on backwards in this case, and we turned it on. We could see the blades going, but it was kind of a struggle because the fluid was running the wrong way, and it wasn't going that fast. Because when you have this on and it's fast, you can hear it, and it'll be like almost like a propeller or something going on. It gets really, really fast, and you can feel a little vibration in the machine while it gets both of those going up and up to speed. So if you hit your hydraulics and it's going the wrong way, and it doesn't sound or it doesn't look like it's running fast or good, then chances are either the hoses are backwards, and you can change those right here. Inside, and on the reaching out, it extends all the way out, but it is kind of, it's a little jerky. I don't feel like it's going to tip over anything. You got weight on there. Find something that's got a little bit more like a tree or something. I don't have too much to choose from here on trees and brush to cut, but here's a couple of ones that are pretty good, decent size. vibration now. I think it may have just been because of the machine and everything in there had to get to moving fluidly. So this is probably about a 3-inch. No, it's probably still about a 2-inch. And it's going to do that like, I don't know if the camera's catching it, but it's just shooting it down like it's nothing. For a KX40, if I had an 80 or a KX040 or something like that, a mulcher that could do large trees, you know, I would say that would be a lot different conversation. I'm a little mixed. Initially, when I started it, there seemed like there's a lot more vibration with the unit itself when the blades are going. Now, there's two blades and they have to get going, and sometimes when they end up, they're together, so it's out of balance a little bit. It's not, it's just how it's designed. Uh, but as I ran it, and I think everything loosened up from being new because it's been sitting here outside for a while, it seemed like it got better. But I would say the heavier one, the couple 100 pound heavier one, probably helped a little bit with the vibration. And you could actually see this one, the actual frame of it vibrate a little bit. And that's normal. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with the actual piece itself. I just think there's probably the weight right there is countering it in. Reaching out, I didn't get on the steepest inclines as I did with when I had the regular one, the non-light version on the last 40 I tested. Initially, it kind of rocked, and I didn't really know if I noticed a difference, but it's been over probably a year or so since I've tested that one. And so I think this one it's right for the 40. I mean, it needs to be this size for a 42 inch. This one spins really fast. It cuts a lot better than what I remembered it on the 40. I actually had a 57 and and I ran the non-light version on there, and I was happy with it. But I don't think that I would not. I'm happy with this for a brush cutter, unless you got something that cuts something bigger. But this will cut probably, not too hard, but something about 3 or 4 inches. I think this one does fine. I've got some, as you saw in the video. Um, Other than that, I'm impressed with it. It's the L. I think if I had one to buy for the person that asked, if you're going to be a 40 and you know you're going to have a 40 machine and you're never going to, like, you're not on the fence between a 40 and a 57, and you might get a 40 now to save a little money and then go up to a 57 later, if you get work or whatever, I'd probably go with the non-light. If was going to have a 40 size machine and that was all it's ever going to be, I would probably go with the light. I mean, it is a little different. 250 pounds, I think, is probably worth it, and it's just a little bit easier on the machine. Uh, but if you were thinking about trading, or you might move up to a 57 or something, I might just probably go ahead and get the regular size, and then I just switch out the mounts from the 40 to the 57 and be done, and then you can go back and forth. But you could also probably run the light on the 57 as well. So I don't really think it's a throwaway if you are on the fence or you're going to go back and forth. And that's about all I have to say for it. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Any questions, please leave them below. Thank you. we're going to show you this again. We hooked everything up. When we go to turn on the blades, you want to make sure it's in hammer mode. And then when you go to pick the auxiliary button to turn it on, you can see, I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but already it's turning backwards. So it's definitely the pump's going backwards. And we're going to have to go in there and we will video changing the switching the pump around.